If anybody tells you house job is hard, just know that it's harder than that hard that you're saying. There's no unit that is chill. House job is Shege Pro Max. Be honest, there's no single place you go to that doesn't have stress. I was so confused. I always used to ask. I was able when I started this house job, like what? It's crazy. Have you guys missed me? What's going on? What has been happening? It's been a wow. Hey guys! Wow. Let me take this off. Hey guys! Wow. I can't believe I am doing this. I can't believe I am sitting down and I am talking to you guys. Like, it is so crazy. Welcome back to Gracie Stew. Welcome back to an overdue sit down video. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time stopping here. Wow. Wow. I am so surprised I'm doing this. Like, anyways, the excitement and the surprise and everything is what I'm going to give you guys today. Yes, welcome back to my channel, guys. I am back for now, just to show that I'm alive, proof of life, proof that God has been there for me, proof that God has been saving me, proof that, God is good, proof that God is my strength, proof that, I don't know. Anyways, guys, this is like my 4th month into house job. What? I cannot believe I can remember my first week vividly, how confused I was, how lost I was, how, naive I was. But now you guys like, what? 4 months in. I'm super proud of myself. Anyways, this vlog is basically a life update plus just me giving you a rundown of how it has been for me so far in my house job, things that I like, things that I don't like. This is just me expressing myself, expressing my feelings. There's no theme, there's no outline. I'm just talking from my heart, from my mind, and whatever you learn, whatever you hear, I just hope you learn something at the end of this video. As you guys know already, because I put out a video that I started house job ending of April. So yes, I started with surgery. In my school, surgery is usually more stressful than medicine. So I was even happy that I started with surgery because I was like, oh, I want to do the stressful ones before I go, before I now start doing the light ones. Let me tell you, there's no unit that is not stressful. Whoever said, oh, medicine is chill, lie. Surgery is chill, lie. O&G is chill, lie. Pediatrics is chill, lie. I started with surgery. And do you know the funny part? I started with the lightest part of surgery. So I started with urology, then ped surg. So, like, life was okay. Life was good. I was still trying to sort myself out, trying to get accommodation here and everything, which took some time. It took like 3-4 weeks before I got accommodation in the hospital that I'm working at and everything. So, all of a sudden, I found myself in general surgery. Guys, that's when I just knew that my life was over. I didn't have a life to myself. I used to come to work by like 8, finish by like 8 or 9 p.m. every single day. Every day is ward downs, every day is mop ups. Your organs are shouting at you, different things. Like, no one, I don't think like you can ever be prepared for the sharp transition from being a medical student to being a house officer. You know how you'll be like, I'm so done with medical school, I'm so tired. Like you've seen Shege, forget it. House job is Shege Pro Max. Like after house job, there's more Shege. So at every point in your life in this medical career, you're just seeing Shege. There's additional Shege to the Shege you've seen. Like in medical school, you can just wake up and say, oh, I'm not going for posting, nothing will happen. Nobody, I mean, they might shout, but like that's the end. Like it's not that deep, right? Do that for house job. The whole department will hear this doctor did not come to work, blah 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 blah. They can give you extension. Different things can just happen to you just because of you missed one day without taking proper permission. Even if you're sick, even if you're having serious cramps, no matter what, you need to tell your MO, you need to tell your registrar, you need to just keep telling everybody, so I'm not coming to work. So they'll make replacement or they'll find a replacement for you or just prepare their minds that you're not coming. Compared to when you were in medical school that, oh, you can afford to start posting for 1 week safe. Sometimes your consultant will not notice, sometimes they will notice, that type of thing. Another thing is the fact that you are responsible for your patient. So you're posted to a unit. You might be the only house officer in that unit. So you're responsible for all the patients' details, like if they've done their tests, if their test results are out, if they've done their x-rays, their scans, their everything. after ward round, the mop ups, collecting samples, setting line, passing catheter. When you're on call, they call you. You know, you are very much responsible compared to when you're a medical student. I can remember when we were medical students, we were so excited to set pass line, set put catheter on patient, pass NG tube. Now, when they call you by 2 or 3 a.m. to set line or pass catheter or resuscitate a patient, like you're just like, oh my goodness, I want to sleep. But these are the things that we were so excited for. And as a medical student, sorry, as a medical student, like you, your call ends by like maybe 9, 10 p.m., at most 11. As a house officer, your call ends the next day, and you're starting work by 8 a.m. the next day to end by 4, 5, 6 p.m., depending on when you finish work the next day. So, my dear, you think you're seeing ghetto in medical school? You'll see ghetto pro in house job. And maybe after house job, there's maybe another ghetto pro or ghetto pro max or whatever the case may be. So, yeah, the whole mental transition, even me, like, okay, apart from like the whole work thing, which was so exhausting, sometimes like there are some doctors that you can just never please. There are some of your guys that are just constantly shouting at you, making you second guess yourself. Just so many things, forgetting that you are new. And also the things that give yourself the grace that, oh, you are new and you don't know all these things. And these people, they've been doing these things over and over again. Because in medical school, we don't learn the doses of certain drugs, right? But here, as a doctor, you have to prescribe the proper dose for a particular drug. And anyways, over time, as they keep saying these drugs over and over and over again, you get to know the dosages of the drug. So the thing is that anything you do not know, just ask. In fact, if it's possible, be a mumu. Me, I was a mumu. I can remember I was a mumu when I started this house job. Like I was so confused. I always used to ask, because I did not know it now, and I'm not going to post something wrong. They'll now come and say, "Is that doctor that posted it?" So I always used to ask, and I mean that's what has really helped me. And then I can remember when I started surgery in medical school, me, I used to dodge scrubbing because I was just like, who's going to stand all these hours for surgery? Little did I know that in house job, you can be the only house officer, it's just you and consultant in your unit. Tell me who is going to assist the surgeon, the consultant surgeon. It is you. So in surgery, me that I personally did not do any, I didn't assist any surgery in medical school. See me now, every surgery day, I used to scrub, I used to assist in like 2 or 3 procedures, just different things. And you know, it took like that's why sometimes they say, oh, there's no need to hustle in medical school because in house job it's come to you. There's no lie. In house job it will actually come to you. And the thing is that you will not have a choice. Like you have to do it because there's no one else to do it. There's just so many more things. Yes, like basically life as a Nigerian citizen has been the hardest. First of all, Naira is just depreciating. Naira is just a useless currency. You cannot save. Let me tell you, the first 3 months I started working in this hospital, I know I was just me and Gary were best friends because that those were my stable groceries. Like they didn't pay us for like the first 3 months we were here. So it was so horrible. Very horrible. I was so broke. I didn't even used to go out. I mean, whenever I'm broke, I just, maintain my lane. I stay by myself. I drink water, mind my business. Yes, babe. God, it was me and Sapa that were fighting. I want to give a shout out to my parents for being the most supportive people ever, like, and my siblings, to be honest, because like my dad still used to send me money for fuel and money for data. That's what I was using to get by. My mom used to send me food every single day. Sweetest human being ever. Then my siblings sometimes they'll drop like 10K, 15K, 5K for me just to get by. And that's how I was able to get by like this the first 3 months of not being paid. I mean, I did not expect it because when I asked my roommate, she said that they had paid her first month, but I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, but they did not pay us for the first 3 months. But now they started paying us, and I thank God. And it's not like I'm not broke. I'm still broke because like there's so many outstanding things that I'm using my money to pay for. But anyways, we thank God still that at least they started paying now. So my dear, if you have money, if during your graduation people send you money, don't go and squander the money and do nightlife in Lagos or go and shut down the biggest club in Abuja or whatever. Just save that money because first of all, you don't know how long you wait after graduation to get a job. And even when you get a job, you don't know how long you wait for them to start paying you. When I came here, they told me that they paid the first month. So when I now came and as at 10 they hadn't paid me, it was so crazy. I was just too broke. I did not go out, I did not do anything. Okay. Then being a Nigerian was just hard. Fuel is expensive, life is expensive, food is expensive. And then when I started driving to come to work every day, and I did not have a license. Tell me why and how. First of all, I used to drive the L. Once all these VIU and police people see that L on your car, they will just stop you and they will just be harassing you. And because I don't have a license, I don't have my learner's permit, they say you cannot drive without a professional driver and blah and blah and blah. I yanked off the L because every other day I used to settle if it's not VIO, it's road safety, is it is police. They will say that you beat traffic lights when you not beat traffic lights. Me self, I was scared. There was even a time I started crying for them because I was just frustrated. The last money I had him on me, but like the money that was supposed to last the whole week, I used it to settle police. I be road safety, so it was just horrible. And it was just a very horrible time. But now, like, they hardly ever stop me. And even if they stop me, because of now, I have like a temporary license because I was able to get it finally after all the back and forth and everything. And then like my car papers are okay. Like they hardly ever stop me anymore. So yeah, guys, like anyways, this house job, let me tell you, if anybody tells you house job is hard, just know that it's harder than that hard that you're saying. Like everybody's experience is different. I personally don't want to go to like all these big places like National Hospital, but to be honest, there's no single place you go to that doesn't have stress. No matter how chill they say the place is, it doesn't have stress. And the thing is that there will always be one or two toxic persons in every department. So even if most of the other people are nice, you have one or two persons that are toxic. So you just need to brace yourself up for the responsibility that comes with it, for the hardship, for the fact that you can be working from like 8 to 3 p.m. You've not eating, your body shaking, you're about to faint. And that's when your consultant or your senior ready wants to start doing another ward round that will not finish till like 5 or 6 p.m. And then you still have more pops to do after the ward rounds and everything. So that's just it. I'm just grateful because in my uni, especially when I was in surgery, we didn't have people who used to leave their work behind for those on call to do. Everybody will do their, like me self, even when I'm not on call and what I'm finishing like 6 or 7 p.m. I will do my mop up and I'll be going home by like 9 p.m. And that's how crazy it can be. And that's because I decided to take responsibility. But there are some people that do not take that responsibility and they leave for the person on call. And that's not funny because you're adding more work to what the person already has to do when they're on call. Okay. So yes, good things about this house job is like, okay, I want to just tell you guys, there was one time that I was on call during a public holiday, and the person I evaluated, like I clicked, made a diagnosis, did all his investigations and everything, and it was and like my diagnosis at that time was intestinal obstruction. And when my SR came, I wasn't even in general surgery at that time. I had just finished. And when my SR came, and he did his whole evaluation, so he just corroborated that, oh, it's intestinal obstruction. And then the next day they took him to theater, blah blah blah. I was so happy because of, like, I felt like a doctor. Like I felt like I could evaluate a patient because I don't know. I just felt like, oh yes, there's a little bit of progress. Because in medical school, one thing I really struggled, like, clicking was not the problem. It was making a diagnosis that was a problem for me. So now that I'm able to tie like what I know in my head to like what I'm seeing, and because of constantly doing the same thing over and over again, I was able to make a diagnosis. And yeah, even the man's son was so grateful to me. Like he was like, thank you so much. And just because of me, like he just felt like my hospital was such a good hospital, that they have good staff and blah 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 blah. Anyways, this is just one out of like the ghetto things that happen here. I'm going to focus on the positives. I'll focus on the fact that some patients are really grateful that you treated them, or you helped them out, or you fed them to put them to what you fed them to, or you showed you brought a senior consultant to help out with their case. Some people want to give you money. Me, genuinely, I hate taking money from patients. Apart from the fact that I feel like they're already spending so much money in the hospital, I don't want anybody to be entitled to my number, to feel entitled to excuse me, calling me anytime or anything. So I just like to keep boundaries. Usually self, like now, my dear, when I'm not on call, I don't take numbers that are not saved on my phone. Because, and even if I'm to take that number, I have to run it by my true caller because I don't want it to be a patient. I don't want it to be somebody random disturbing and calling my phone, because like I have decided to choose my peace. Okay. Some patients are very aggressive. Some of their relatives are so aggressive. There was one time that one man almost beat me in, and like one grown man, bro. But we thank God that that did not happen. Me, I stayed, because when you're with these aggressive people or aggressive patient relative, just stay far away from them even when they are sparking. The only reason why I was still able to give the patient treatment was because normally, like, when a patient relative or a patient is being aggressive, you just leave them. But the only reason was because the daughter of the man was just like, I'm so sorry that my dad is behaving this way, please forgive him, that's just the way he is, just ignore him and treat me. And when somebody comes with you and talks like that, you just have to ignore whatever is happening outside and just do the bid for that person. Okay. And the good thing about this is when like people come to the hospital, they were sick and then they get better and they go, their relatives are happy, everybody's happy. But when a patient dies, especially in like surgery, patients hardly die unless it's like a very severe case, or unless it was they hardly mismanage cases in surgery actually. So unless it was probably severe before the patient came to the hospital. or it was just like the person's time. So if a mortality happens in surgery, they usually query that they're like, what happened? They want to know, they want to get to the root cause of that mortality so that it wouldn't happen again. So that's one thing I liked about my surgery posting. And now I'm done. Now I'm in pediatrics and we're on strike. I don't know how to feel about that strike because I started pediatrics immediately after, like, I finished surgery on Tuesday, I started pediatrics on Wednesday. That's how it was. Like, I did not have a day to even rest, to drink water, drop cup. I just started and everything. And to be honest, it hasn't been so bad. The thing is that, like, for every unit you go, have an open mind, because I had so much anxiety when I was entering pediatrics. And to be honest, like, I've been running it and it hasn't been bad. Now we're on strike. House officers are not supposed to be on strike according to MDCN, but ARD said that we're also part of the strike. So it's like one leg in, one leg out. To be honest, I do not know. In my unit, they've literally discharged almost all the patients and in the wards and in NNU and EPU. So if you look at it now, there's no much work, to be done at the end of the day. So I don't know what else to say. This video, I just feel like I mumbled a bit and I just was talking, and just know that house job is ghetto, and maybe because of I'm more rested now because of the strike, I'm not talking under pressure or anything. But just know that when you start house job, you see your own form of shaggy. But the thing is that just calm down, give yourself grace. Ask a lot of questions. Ask from the senior, the older house officers. Ask from the anything you don't know. Clarify. Don't be acting blind. Highest they'll insult you, but always clarify. And to be honest, like, nobody's expecting you to be perfect. Everybody once started where you started from, so they would understand why you don't know certain things. And the worst are companies that they insult you and insult your school, but who don't die of insults? Nobody. Okay. So yeah, that's it, guys. All right, I'll see you guys in my next one. Yes, and I've seen about a new phone. Anyways, I just did a lot of things from my phone, and I was like, let me just make this video just for you guys. Anyways, guys, I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.